Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen, and last week I did an Instagram post and I asked you guys what videos you want me to do, and one of the top videos requested was a boat tour. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys my fishing machine. All right, now let's start up front. What I have up front is I have an 80-pound thrust Minn Kota Fortrex. I love a cable drive. Most bass fishermen do. The reason for a cable drive is if you compare it to the digital ones, you don't ever have to look down at a cable drive to see what direction it's facing. I know that when my pedal is flat, my trolling motor is facing forward. If it's all the way back, it's facing backwards. It's all the way forward, it's just spun all the way around backwards again. And in between, I got left and right. And so I don't have to look down at my trolling motor to see where it is. And if you have one of those digital ones and you're trying to fish the bank and trying to maneuver and things like that, you find yourself always taking your eye off of the target, eye off of where you're casting, to look down at the trolling motor. That's why we keep a cable drive. Love it. Then I've got a Lowrance HDS 9. I'm thinking about switching those out this next year to Humminbirds. It's a great unit, nothing wrong with it. Just want to try Humminbirds for a year. And then my Hydro Wave, a lot of people ask about that. It works sometimes when there's bait fish present. When the fish are active, I can get them to a little bit more active. it's kind of that iffy, and you hear that a lot from a lot of people. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's better to have it than not to. So that's my Hydro Wave. One of the things I don't like about the boat is it's got 3 pedestal mounts, and this is for spider rigging when you're crappie fishing, and that's fine and dandy. I'm a bass fisherman, so I kind of wished it just had one, and I asked them to change that for the 2017 model. They just get hot in the sun here in the south, so you end up burning your feet on them. But like I said, that changes. The 2016 model has a recessed pedal well, which is going to be wonderful. And then coming on back, plenty of room on the deck. This is one of the widest decks for an aluminum boat. You know, the most popular models are very, very narrow decked, and this one is super wide. I can fish 2 people on it very comfortably, a 3rd person in the back, so I can get 3 people in this boat, and it's only 18 feet long. Very, very stable. That's the biggest thing I love about this boat. Hold on, I got a spider web on my camera. Anyway, I've got it's a very wide boat, and so it's stable. If you know, on the smaller models or on the less expensive models, the guy in the back of the boat, if he switches his weight, just switches his weight, it could, you know, make the guy in the front of the boat lose his balance. But on this boat, you can literally stand on the edge and it barely rocks. Big, wide boat. Love that, especially when I got my kids in the boat with me. I don't have to worry about me shifting my weight causing them to fall out. Big deal for me. Anyway, okay, another thing I don't like about this boat is here in the south, we don't really need one of these. It's a front live well. I know somebody in the south is going to say, yeah, it'd be nice, it's nice, whatever else. But when you're a bass fisherman, you really love storage. And so for a future model, I asked them if they would change this, get rid of this, and put make it tackle storage. The storage it does have is immense compared to a lot of the other brands compared to a lot of the other brands of aluminum boats. I'm talking massive storage. If you guys can look way up in there, I've got another box of soft plastics. I've got this box of soft plastics. I've got this bag, and I've got my toolbox up there too, plus all the fishing rods coming from the rod locker. All of my tackle, you know, all my Bass Mafia boxes, the hard ones, the soft ones, all the tackle that I need, everything fits right in here. This is one of the little things I added. It's a hanger for my jigs and my spinner baits. I made it using my drill press. It's just a piece of angle aluminum that I cut with a Dremel tool and then drilled holes in it all the way up. I love that thing because it lets me hang my baits to let them dry and don't have to worry too much about them rusting. All right, the other hatch. this is where I keep my rods. This thing will hold 25 rods and reels. It is a heaven sent rod locker. It holds an 8-foot rod. It holds, like I said, it holds 25 of them. Here's another little thing I made. Now, if you guys saw my first tour, I used little round hangers, and the problem with those little round hangers that you put through the hole right there, in a little bit of rough water, these things tear out and they'll fall down in your rod locker. So I ended up cutting little slots in that piece of angle aluminum, and then used badge hangers that I got at the office supply store. Works 10 times better. I mean, hundreds of times better. So, one key thing to being able to get the most rods in your rod locker in any kind of rod storage. I use these when I'm traveling in my car. You know, I used to have a Corolla, a 94 Corolla that I drove everywhere, North Carolina guiding, everything, and I'd have 10 or 12 rods I'd take with me, and I'd put them in these rod gloves, and absolutely they protect your rods. They make them to where they slide in and out of your rod locker better. And the thing I love about the rod glove over all the other models, all the other brands really, is that tip right there. The way they shrink wrap and make that tip, it slides so much easier in and out of places. It makes it to where if you have those dumb little rod tubes in your old boat, which I don't like, as you can tell, you can actually fit 2 rods in each of those rod tubes and double your storage. A lot of us have been, for years, have been cutting those tubes out, but if you have them in your boat, you can still use them. Get you some rod gloves and slide them down those tubes. And one of the things I'm trying different with this video is I actually contacted Rod Glove, and I asked them for a what do they call it? Holy cow! A coupon code. And so they put together a coupon code for me, so you guys can go to their website. I'll put the link down in the description, and I'll put the coupon code of Flukemastr 15, and you get 15% off of their rod gloves. Pretty cool. It's just something I was like, hey, let me try to do this, and they were delighted to do that. So 15% discount on those things, and like I said, they're great. Even if you don't have a boat, you put them in your car. It just keeps and protects your rods. Anyway, that's enough of that promotional junk. So take advantage of that 15% though. That's awesome. Let's see, other things I love about it. I already talked about the size of the deck. One thing I wish it had was a cooler, and that's all these things that I wish this boat had, or the things that I don't like about this boat. Those are the things I've already suggested to Alumacraft that they change, and they're actually gonna do it. And so I'm excited about that, really am. Things I really love about this boat, man, it rides like a dream. They make it out of one solid piece of aluminum, the hull that is. One solid piece of aluminum. So there's nowhere it flexes. There's no seams, nothing like that, where it flexes a lot when you get into rough water. So when you're in rough water, it's a nice ride. For an aluminum boat, it's a very, very, very nice ride. Crap, I got fish schooling over on my spot. I'll go catch them in a minute. But I remember my last boat, it flexed a lot, and every time you'd start to see white caps on the water, it got rough. I mean, it got so rough, it hurt. And I'd have to slow it down and just take my time in just the slightest amount of white caps. Well, this boat, I've had it on plane going full speed in about 2-foot waves and been just fine. A little bit bigger than that, it gets a little scary. It handles it fine. It's just, I don't like to ride like that when it's in really, really rough water. It's just not safe. But it's a great handling boat. That 115 show is awesome. All right, so we get back to the back of the boat. There's more storage underneath. Let me move my crap. There's more storage up underneath this seat. This is pretty dry storage. I keep my extra buoys, my throw cushion, my little paddle just in case things get jacked up. I got another rod glove in there. I've had that in there for a while. That's actually for one of my kids' spinning rods. Bungee cords, rope, extra stuff, prop wrench, things like that. Just the oddball things that I need every once in a while, and things I need to get to quickly. My fire extinguisher's in there too. Another HDS 8 at the back. Did I say 9 up front? That's an 8. So I got 2 HDS 8s. you guys are going to ask why I have them taped up. It's because I don't have a deal with Lowrance. Is the reason I tape them up. You know, I try to give them as little bit of exposure as possible. It's a business, so I got to do it that way. The seats are fairly comfortable. Next year's seats, the 2016 model and the 20 on up, are going to have big, fluffy, soft seats, great for a fat boy. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Man, there's just so many cool things about this boat. All right, so one of the things I forgot to talk about are my tackle webs. These are bags. Let me turn around and I'll show it to you. It's where I keep my soft plastics and my extra stuff that I use quite often. And that's called cooler webs because that actually fits inside of a cooler, but it fits perfectly right there in my boat, so I put it right there. But tackle webs, I have another one up underneath my hatch or my console, and I've got 2 more in each of the hatches. So it holds a lot of extra stuff and makes it to where things don't move around and slide around in the hatches. The back storage, this is something I want them to change, and I'm sure they're going to, is there's just really not a lot of storage back behind the seat. There's a place for 3 3600 Plano boxes. I want them to make this, use that entire space. There's a lot of space in there. I want them to use that whole space for storage, and then get rid of the ones that just hold the Planos, get rid of these little slots right here, and just make it one box with flat sides so we can do whatever the heck we want to with it. Same thing with the other side. I'm not going to open it up, but that's what it looks like on the other side. Big live well, divided. That's a great live well. I really do. I haven't had any problems with it. It's just your standard plastic live well. I think it's a 15 gallon or 16 gallon. And then there's this is the Yellowtech boom. You guys see some of it. I mean, seen it a few times in my videos. It holds my camera way up there. This whole thing's powered by a 115 Yamaha SHO VMAX Show 4-stroke. I can't say enough good things about that motor. I have gone from $40 a day with a 90 horse 2-stroke to I have run this boat today and the last few days of fishing further than I usually run a boat, and I'm still only burning about 8 gallons of gas a day, 8 to 10, but depending on how far I run. And man, that is dirt cheap. I mean, I can't believe I'm doing this thing. Just gets great gas mileage. I wouldn't even begin to tell you how long or how many miles I travel, but it's a long ways. It's about a 30 to 40 minute run. Anyway, all right, let me open up the back. The back of the boat. This area needs to be a little bit bigger, but it does fit 3 batteries. I've got I got 3 batteries in it. I got an onboard 2-bank charger. If you're only running a 24-volt system on your trolling motor, you only need a 2-bank charger. To put a 3rd bank on your cranking battery, when you have an alternator on your motor that charges that battery, it's just pointless. You're just wasting money. 2-bank charger does just fine. I got an extra life jacket stored back here, and this right here is my extension cord, extra extension cord. When I travel and forget mine, I always have one in my boat that can charge it up at campsites. Let me think of anything else. I don't know, guys. Oh, my net storage, you guys might have seen it. I love the space behind this seat. My last boat didn't have it. That's why I really appreciate it. Is you got all this space back here. Not only is it storage for a net, it makes it to where I can get a vacuum cleaner back there and vacuum the son of a gun out. My last boat, it had about this much space, and I had trees growing out of it because, you know, seeds from pine trees would fall in it and things like that. And it was just a pain in the neck to try to clean with a screwdriver. So I really like the space right there. Let's see, what else? All right, so the front, my front fish finder, it came with a big ram mount, one of those big 2.5 or 3 inch ball ram mounts, which works great up there, especially when it gets a little rough. It keeps it from falling down. But in the back, I needed a 12-inch arm. So I got the balls out mount. These things are not cheap, but man, it holds it solid. I don't have to worry about it rocking around too much, and it's just a great mount, and it's worth the money. It's just not cheap. I can't remember how much I spent on it, but I wasn't happy about having to spend that much money, but I needed it. So I saved my pennies and I did it. Now another thing is right behind me. I made this one too. This is my tool caddy. I want you to get a close look at this. I made it out of the same angle aluminum. I cut some big holes using my Dremel tool and my drill, and then some little holes to hang hooks so I can dry my baits before I put them back in the box. That kind of stuff. And then I spray paint this with actually Flex Seal. Which is, you know, as seen on TV, Flex Seal stuff. That's what I paint my PVC with from all my PVC mounts. It just doesn't come off that easy. It doesn't scratch off very easy at all. So it works great. So that's my tool caddy. Well, that's about it for my boat. I really can't see anything else I'd like to show off, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the tour of my boat. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll put in the description, I'll put links to the website, the Alumacraft website, so you can go look at this. If you're interested in buying one of these boats, the best thing for me to say is go to a dealer. They know more about the cost of these boats, and they can play around with that cost a lot more than I can try to tell you how much it's worth. And you can get a great deal. There's several dealers in the Southeast, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, that will give you a great deal on one of these things. It blows my mind. I've heard a couple of rumors about several of them that will really come off a lot off of the suggested retail price to get you in one of these boats. You will not be sorry. I can't wait to get my next one. Anyway, all right guys, well, like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out of the water, go out and catch some fish and have some fun. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that little like button if you like this video. If you don't like it because it's promotional, hit that little thumbs down button. It doesn't, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, well, be sure to get out of the water, go out and catch some fish, and have a great day.